Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. My name is Jeffrey Davis, and I love sitting and talking to entrepreneurs and people who work with entrepreneurs, learning about them every day. It's a constant university for me, University of Entrepreneurship. And our next guest is a returning guest. I didn't meet this guest the first time they were on the show. This is Jakari Griffith of Bridgewater State College, Assistant Professor of Management. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Pleasure to be back.
And this is our first meeting. Jakari, why don't you, I know today you wanted to talk to us about leadership.
Sure.
And I'd like to get into the topic. It's a topic I have to deal with every day.
Absolutely.
So,
you know, there's a saying that, you know, the second most powerful force next to love is leadership. And for all the right reasons. I mean, it's a highly emotionally charged space that leaders find themselves in when you're tasked with trying to push followers to think differently about themselves, about opportunities, the environment, and ways to push the organization and themselves forward into new directions. Leadership, actually, surprisingly, is nearly a perfect overlap with those skills required for entrepreneurs. In many ways, entrepreneurs are charged the task of forging ahead and looking forward to opportunities that may not always be visible to other people. And in so doing, they're influencing others to buy into those visions. They're trying to communicate the sense of urgency, a sense of passion, and really trying to get buy-in among folks that are actually critical to the success of the enterprise or the effort there. So,
well, you know, your opening statement was inspiring for me. You know, the most powerful force other than love is leadership. It's true because the world is created through leadership.
Yes.
Leadership creates change.
Absolutely.
And, is there a formula that you think you found or elements that create great leadership?
You know, I've been involved in a few studies, that have looked at leadership and leadership development. And overwhelmingly, what we have found is that leaders have a genuine sense of self-awareness for how they relate to others and certainly how they relate to social systems. But also there's a dissatisfaction that seems to be present among most leaders, as if things could be done differently, or what if we had these kinds of resources, what would be the outcomes? And so, my sense in observing leaders and kind of paying attention to them based on, studies I've been a part of is there's always a future orientation to what could happen potentially if certain resources were in place. And so I think there's a forward-looking perspective that many leaders embrace. There's also a dynamic tendency to be self-critical and self-judgmental, constantly looking for growth, looking for opportunities to expand themselves. And they're definitely comfortable with adversity and challenge. I think in many instances, discomfort is an arena where many leaders would thrive because it gives them a chance to sharpen their assumptions, rethink scripts and patterns, and maybe envision new opportunities for themselves and others. Leadership's a fascinating topic. Some people say leaders are born, And so if you take that view, yes, obviously every leader is born. But those people who believe that people are born with, disposition, certain tendencies, certain character traits, it's been my experience that those people are the least developable because they believe that human potential is fixed. Then we have folks that say leadership is growable and developable. And you see that in terms of the kinds of choices these people make to put themselves in situations where they can be challenged, where they're uncomfortable, where they can grow, where they have to be self-reflective. And, from that perspective, I think that makes leadership a very fascinating topic and one that seems to be easily understood. But really, I think the jury is out in terms of, what constitutes the full scope of its development.